This is a video from Brian Tyler Cohen. OMG, Trump finally snaps, loses his mind over Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a pop star who only just there was a hoax about her losing subscribers, about her losing fans, or her losing income due to supporting a political candidate or a political figure. There is that hoax that appeared on Twitter. All right, somebody just spreading that, and do you know what I think? What the objective was for that to be spread? For that to be spread before it was determined that it was a hoax. It was community noted. The only purpose it serves for that to actually be exposed on Twitter, for that to be getting out to Twitter like that, is for Trump to see it. Figures. You want the orange wig to actually see it, so yeah, congratulations, he saw it. Now he's freaking out on it. He doesn't even check the facts himself if it was a hoax or not. He just goes out and says that it's actually true, and you gotta say, I really just gotta say it. He is on a losing streak, not only from the debate against Kamala Harris, but as well as, let's just be real, I don't talk about politics every time this time, but when it comes to a political candidate losing and freaking out over news in regards to famous figures or famous personalities not supporting him, if he freaks out at every single issue, of course, he just becomes a whiny baby, a big freaking whiny baby. That's all this is now. It's really sad, actually. It's really just honestly sad here. Anyway, let's just play it, see what this is about, and whatever.
In a move that is beyond certain to leave Donald Trump's campaign staff banging their heads against their desks, Trump, in his infinite wisdom, took to Truth Social today writing, "I hate Taylor Swift," in all caps. Now, let's level set for a moment here.
He just believed. Oh my. I don't know if he believes in the hoax, or maybe he just doesn't like the fact that Taylor Swift actually supported Kamala Harris. Because the context of this is that she supports Kamala Harris. And that's actually a good thing. Because the only sane thing for you to do is not support a tyrant and someone who actually kicks off it kicks off legal citizens of a country. So basically, anyone's welcome. That's just my saying it, but nothing more. All right? I'm a Filipino. I still live in the Philippines, but I care for those who are living in the United States being kicked out just because they're not American. They're not born American. It is just disgusting. Okay? Anyway, let's just continue, okay?
Swift is the biggest star on the face of the earth. She commands the affection and attention of literal hundreds of millions of people, but especially young people, a group that Trump...
She's into country pop. Mostly it's pop, but at this time, she has been really making admirable acts. Well, admirable in the face of going up against her traitorous label that actually just did not pay her for all the albums that she made. Well, she was paid, but for a very, very, very ridiculously small amount. Basically, she did not even get a majority of the sales on her albums. So she had to re-record her songs. And here we are. She's actually working hard for it, and it's actually serious. She definitely is a model to look up to when it comes to making sure that you are your own label. And now here we are, getting a freak out from Trump just because she supported a candidate. I don't often talk politics, but he is... this is just a funny reaction from him. This is absolutely just a funny reaction from him.
in trouble with right now heading into November. And so he decided that the best course of action here would be to declare war on her 50 days out from the election. Remind me, which chapter of Art of the Deal was shooting yourself in the foot with the biggest voting bloc in America? Of course, Trump supporters are already trying to cope with this Taylor Swift endorsement of Kamala Harris. One guy tweeted, "As soon as the Swifties realize they can't vote from their phone and have to go wait in line, this will all be forgotten." To which a Swift fan responded, "Saying Swifties won't vote because we won't want to wait in line, of all things, is so funny. That's probably one of our top 3 skills."
It's so funny. God, I love that comeback. I love the comeback of this one. Oh, shit. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Love the comeback here. I love the comeback here. Yes. Very good.
A reference to the fact that they will wait for hours and hours and hours online to get her music and enter her concert.
That's how dedicated they are. That is just how dedicated they are. That's the good thing about Swifties. Fans wait for her no matter how long because they are dedicated fans who want to listen to her music. Yeah. And they would wait to vote as well, no matter how long. No matter how long, okay?
But hey, copium is a hell of a drug. Now, in fairness, there are 2 ways to look at this. The first is that Donald Trump is an impulsive egomaniac who felt attacked by Taylor's full-throated endorsement of Kamala Harris and subsequently sending roughly 500,000 people to her custom voter registration link, and so he's just lashing out because he is physically incapable of not fighting back when his ego feels bruised. But he may also have a strategic reason to do this, as a distraction. Look, dude is having a bad week. His debate performance was a disaster, wherein 60 million people watched this sweaty lunatic claim that migrants are eating pet cats and dogs.
His debate, the debate that he participated in, should be the basis of him losing the entire race, okay? I'm gonna be real with you guys. He's taking nothing but he's taking nothing but losses, honestly. He might win, he might not. But one thing is for sure, the embarrassments stay in memory, and people might forget it for a time. But for however long it might last, the reputation being stained like that, it will not be easily forgotten. It will not be easily erased. Okay.
His running mate, J.D. Vance, has since admitted to lying about the Haitian migrant story on national TV, a tacit admission that Donald Trump himself was either too stupid to know that he was repeating a hoax or too shameless to care.
That's even worse! He is repeating a now proven hoax. He is repeating a now proven hoax. That's even worse. That is even worse. Oh no.
The fallout from that debate has brought us a raft of polling showing him down as many as 5 points against Kamala Harris nationally. And so let's be real here. The guy has a vested interest in doing whatever he can to change the narrative. If that means waging a culture war against Taylor Swift, so be it. And that's a point, by the way, that Pete Buttigieg made on air.
But just to see the impact that something like this could be having on people's lives, what do you make of what's happening?
This is a strategy. And there's even more to it than demonizing immigrants, although that's obviously part of what he's doing. This is a strategy to get us talking about the latest crazy thing that he did, whatever urban legend he amplifies. Right now it's about people eating cats or geese or whatever, because he cannot afford for us to be talking about his record. He doesn't want us talking about the fact that we lost manufacturing jobs on his watch, even before COVID, which is why the United Auto Workers are against him. He doesn't want us talking about the fact that his main economic policy promise he actually kept was to cut taxes for the rich. He doesn't want us talking about how he demolished the right to choose in this country, that he's the reason that even IVF could be banned in many places in this country. The last thing he wants us to do is to talk about his record or his agenda. So what he wants us talking about is whatever crazy nonsense he can thrust into the center of the internet and the media conversation.
Basically, he just wants to send every distraction possible so that the scent off his stinking reputation is actually going to go somewhere else. Basically, that's what he wants us to do. I'm a Filipino, and I can still see that his tactics are not working. Because first off, the laughs are real. The embarrassments are going to take a toll on him. It will make him lose. No matter how many times we actually look at this is still a loss. Total loss, okay?
He also followed up with this tweet. Cats, dogs, geese, Laura Loomer. Look, now he's attacking Taylor. Like the last season before a show gets canceled for being over the top and, at the same time, boring. This election is about jobs, wages, climate, healthcare, abortion. Not his show, your life.
Exactly. It should never be about trivial matters. It should never be about trivial matters. If the subject is about what your power as president can do to a country, it should never be about just trivial matters at best. This is the thing. Trump will keep doing this. Trump will keep up with the facade that the small things matter more than everything else. Basically, he will not care about the federal government. He will not care about the issues surrounding the federal government. He will not care about those who he treats as his voters. And then he will just do and say something else like Taylor Swift is a menace. Basically, hey, if you actually would want to have a candidate like that, then go right ahead. You can go right ahead and vote. I will make sure that you're still welcome in my community, but I hope for the sake of sanity that you find your center, because Donald Trump is definitely not in the center. He has a lot of screws loose, and he's falling off a cliff so often, okay? Every freaking law serves to have him fall off the cliff so often. Every time that an issue like this comes out, okay? Every time, okay? He got shot. His ear was a casualty. Well, not exactly a casualty. It was only wounded. And then his ego takes a hit because he gets shot off the golf course. He survives. His soul doesn't. Really pathetic. I hope he just really gets every piece of trauma to just. We're just hoping he just steps off the map permanently.
And this is a point that Sarah Longwell made too.
Oh, by the way, he loves golf. That's why it's even ironic. It's even ironic it happens at a golf course. Pathetic.
I know that it looks like Trump is self-immolating, but talking about eating pets and hating Taylor Swift are just him trying to change the subject from his catastrophic debate performance this week. This is what Trump does. When Kamala was getting all the attention when she first entered the race, Trump claimed that she wasn't black. Then he said that his rallies were bigger than Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech crowd. Whatever he has to say to distract and grab back the attention, he will. Now, I know some folks are wondering, but why wage war against the biggest star in the world? Easy. His followers don't care. They hold nothing more sacred than their allegiance to the God King. Remember, these people literally stormed the seat of democracy, the U.S. Capitol. In their deference to Trump, they will set fire to anything if Trump issues his little clarion call. Some of the things that Republicans have attacked lately out of blind fealty to Trump. The NFL, the MLB, the NBA, NASCAR, Bud Light, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Disney, the FBI, books, M&Ms, Mr. Potato Head, colleges, the Department of Education, education more broadly, Target, YouTube, Ben & Jerry's, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines, Chick-fil-A, Amazon, Walmart, Frosted Flakes, the New York Times, Nike, North Face, Pepsi, Levi's, just to name a few. Trump speaks to an undiscerning base that will follow him off a cliff, and right now seems to be doing exactly that. But the sad reality is that what this will do is put Taylor Swift's life in danger, because there is no score that Donald Trump won't go to the farthest lengths to settle. We are literally right.
You know what I think about this? You know what I think about this? What I think is that he's making these hoaxes to make a convenient catalyst for him to go after her. That's what I believe. Uh-oh. Guys, I think we're seeing a bot farm working here right in front of our faces. And I don't like it one bit. Yeah. I do not like it one bit. Really. Nope. I do not.
Right now, in the midst of another Trump scandal where his lies about immigrants in Ohio have left them contending with property damage, death threats, bomb threats. And when asked, by the way, to disavow the bomb threats, well, here's what Trump had to say.
Do you denounce the bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio?
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants, and that's a terrible thing that happened. Springfield was this beautiful town, and now they're going through hell. It's a sad thing. Not going to happen with me, I can tell you right now.
Imagine having the opportunity to disavow bomb threats and not take it. That's because Donald Trump knows that his words incite violence, and the violence is exactly what he wants.
It's a pattern that he keeps chasing just to make sure that his platform stays true to his own aims. It's disgusting. Well, isn't this absolutely disgusting? Isn't this absolutely disgusting? If this doesn't tell you that Trump does not deserve to be your president, or Trump does not deserve to be your ruler, or someone who has ease of mind, someone who knows better than you. If that doesn't tell you anything, then unfortunately you are mentally challenged. Unfortunately, you're the one who's more mentally challenged than I am or anyone else. Okay, basically, if you are more confused of the idea that Trump is actually not meant to be a leader, unfortunately, you are mentally challenged, and it is required that you think better. Unfortunately, that's what I really see in this, and unfortunately, you must think better. You really just must think better for yourself, for your future, for the future of your community, and your society in general, okay?
And because the media is broken in this country, Trump will get away with it by both siding this issue into oblivion. In fact, that is exactly what happened earlier this summer on Piers Morgan's show, where I sat on a panel.
One trick that Kamala Harris missed in her speech, it was not a bad speech at all. But one thing she didn't do, she didn't allude to the assassination attempt on Trump. And it's only been 9 days since someone tried to murder Donald Trump and actually shot him in the ear, killing him by a quarter of an inch. Would it not have been a smart move, in between calling him, a sexual predator and a con man and a fake and blah, 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 very ad hominem stuff? Would it not have been a smart move in terms of unity had she just taken a moment to acknowledge the assassination attempt and say how pleased she was that he survived it, something of that nature?
Piers, I find it so bizarre that the onus is always on the Democrats, it's always on the adults in the room to create unity. Where was everybody for the last 6 years calling for unity when Donald Trump was president? And, as far as the violence is concerned, I feel like any effort to try to pin, again, the onus on Democrats in terms of lowering the temperature in this country is just a testament to the fact that the Republicans are graded on the curve. Remember, it was not the Democrats. While we're talking about political violence, it wasn't the Democrats who laughed at Paul Pelosi being bludgeoned with a hammer. That was Donald Trump. It wasn't Democrats who called for military tribunals for Liz Cheney. That was Donald Trump. It wasn't Democrats who laughed at a kidnapping plot against Gretchen Whitmer. That was Donald Trump. It wasn't Democrats who called for General Mark Milley to be executed. That was Donald Trump.
A single political party cannot entirely be held responsible for the violence that is happening inside a country. That is well understood. So it should not be taken into account that a single political party is the very cause of all the violence. So that's what he's trying to say. That's what Brian is saying here. And I believe him.
Democrats
But it was-
who,
okay,
who
but
posted
Brian,
a
but Brian.
baseball bat photo with Alvin
Okay,
Bragg and
but
threatened
Brian,
death and
but Brian.
destruction if he was charged. So in all of these
Okay.
examples, Piers, it is not the Democrats who've done this. It's not the Democrats who've validated the use of political violence as a tool in this country. And it
Except
shouldn't be
in
on
one
the
regard,
Democrats
Brian.
all of a sudden to be the adults in the room. The violence we see coming from Trump is not a bug, it is a feature. It's a recurring theme. It's an express strategy to get what they want. And when Trump writes, "I hate Taylor Swift" in all caps, mark my words, he knows what he's doing. And he knows what the practical impact of that post is going to be.
Exactly. He has too many extremist shooters on his side, waiting to act because of his words. And let me tell you, they still hold weight. They still hold a lot of weight. No matter how many times you look at it, they still hold a lot of weight, even if he is a bumbling idiot, okay? That's just how Trump is. That's just how Trump is.
But still, he does it because the violence is the point. So if you're still undecided in this country heading into November, Donald Trump's dystopian policy proposals aside, do you really want someone in office whose principal weapon is to try and have his political opponents hurt or, even worse, killed? That's what's on the ballot this November.
All right. I'm not going to react any further because we already know that the messaging has already been told. Trump, I'm not an American, but let me tell you, if you step into the Philippines, heck, if you step anywhere near our community, I would not even give you an inch of my attention. I would not even give you a centimeter of my attention. I would not even give you a single glance. You're absolutely dead to me. You're absolutely dead to me. As a person, as a man of integrity, you don't have integrity. Absolutely not.